Welcome to my channel, baby. Sip sensibility. Welcome to my channel, baby. Sip sensibility.
Hey, this is Sensibility Speaks. Thanks for stopping by, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. All right, y'all, let's get into this Ready to Love Fort Worth reunion, part 1, honey, season 9, episode 13. Baby, I'm like, what in the Love and Hip Hop, Zeus Network, Bad Girls Club, goddamn Love and Basketball-ish is this? I'm like, what is this? Anywho, a whole lot went on, and so I'm going to speak to certain points. I'm not going to recap the entire reunion, but what resonated. But first and foremost, let me start off with Miss Alexis, and I'm going to save that to the end. But I noticed in the very beginning when the reunion first came on, you know how they be showing Tommy and the people coming in onto the set. Child, girlfriend had a drink in her hand, and that's all I'm going to say about that for now, okay? So anyway, they show snippets and clips of all the highlights of the whole season, right? So the first couple that Tommy starts with is Alonzo and Patrice. Child. So remember, Miss Patrice had options. Remember how she decided that she was interested in Chaz the 9th hour when they all were at that summer house or whatever? Okay, when they had that getaway, right? Because she had been connected with Alonzo the whole time. But then she threw her hat in the ring with old boy Chaz. But we all know that she chose Alonzo, so she didn't choose Chaz, all right? So I'm sitting here looking at the two of them. They looking like gloom and doom. But you know what, Patrice, you never should have chosen him in the first place, girl. I want to say she's what, 42, 34, something like that, early 40s, and I think he's like 35, or at least at the time of filming. I'm like, baby, what did you see in this little boy? But to me, he's immature. It's one thing to have a youthful spirit and be kind of precocious, okay, and capricious. And on top of that, he's a gaslighter, right? But we learned that Patrice had a key to his house, right? So she's thinking she's going to be whisked off in the sunset because they chose one another for the season finale.
So he was secure enough to give me a key to his place?
All right, y'all. I want y'all to listen to Miss Alexis in the background. Ooh, child, she amped up.
And
Whoa, hold on. What?
God damn. So she got a key to his house. So girlfriend took it upon herself to pop up. And lo and behold, boyfriend got a whole chick in there. But what gets me is like, just come clean. Don't gaslight the girl. Tell me some, oh, it's just a friend. Why can't I have friends and all this ish? I'm like, boy, stop playing. Stop playing. So even the guys on the show were kind of looking at him. You know how you can tell by people's countenance and facial expressions, like, look at Patrice. She looked disgusted with him.
Everybody calm down.
Are you really trying to gaslight her with the bullshit? I'm like, you're not in college or high school or even in your fucking 20s anymore with the game plan. But so anyway, she dropped a curveball of her own and she said that she got in contact with the girl because he alleges that that was just a friend, that his Jeep wasn't working. He needed to get groceries, yada, yada, yada. It was 10 o'clock at night. She pops up with a vehicle he never saw before. I guess she used her key. I don't know. But I guess she got in contact with the girl. The girl admitted that they had sexual relations back in May. I don't know if he knew that the girl admitted this to her. So she dropped that little bombshell. And he was like, yeah. So he gets in a confessional saying, I can't be friends. I'm supposed to drop all my female friends because I'm dealing with you, essentially, right? So anyway, he wasn't ready for love. But she also drops a bomb that it wasn't just one, it was 3 different chicks that he was dealing with and had been sleeping with, I guess, or had them in rotation and even taking STD tests or whatever, or yeah, something like that, just to show that he's clean and disease-free. Child, Tommy was like, is there a chance that y'all can reconcile, work this out? She's like, not a snowball chance in hell. Once someone shows you who they are, believe them. And so she believes it. But she got to take some accountability. And I'm like, what you want with him? She is way mature and long in the tooth. When I say long in the tooth, meaning she's a little older than him, and not saying it was a big age gap, what, I don't know, 6, 7 years or something like that, but she's too mature for him, okay? So anyway, moving right the hell along. Yeah, he's just a piece of work. This child, Little Black Book Kojo had interviewed him, and he's exhausting. he was being combative with Kojo midway through the interview, just being a gaslighter about the whole choke and spank debacle. But I'll get to that in a minute, y'all. But let me circle back real quick. So Alonzo's like, if I have something to hide, why in the hell would I give you a key? Child, that's just like Bama's get married to women. And people are in full-blown relationships, living together or whatever, cohabitating, and they cheat. Come on now, stop playing. It's like cheating in plain sight. But let's continue. All right, so moving right the hell along. So let's get to Will, okay? So remember during the season how he got voted off, but before he got voted off, he did have a connection with Alexis, right? And so remember, Alexis was going back telling what was going on in the ladies' lounge, right? And so there was a misunderstanding. Here we go again with Patrice, because Patrice had told the ladies in the lounge, shit, I think he homeless, so to speak. He told them something, he finna sleep on some damn pillows and get some blankets because he was going to one of his houses. So anyway, during the reunion, he's like, look, I'm a real estate developer. And he tells Tommy that he has multiple homes. Tommy's like, okay. He was like, and I was going to stay at one of my staging houses, right? And so apparently Patrice ain't know what the F that meant. And so, you know how you go to houses, be them turnkey or whatever, you got to fix them up. But a lot of times the houses are fully decorated because you want to have that aesthetic in a full effect for your potential buyers. But girlfriend ain't know what the hell that meant. But saying all that to say, Tommy thinks that this kind of just changed the perception of the ladies based upon Patrice's comment, right? Because she misconstrued what it meant. And his smart ass during the season was like, well, let me tell you what it means and look it up on Webster's dictionary. And Tommy kind of backed him up. But here's the thing, his little arrogant butt says anybody can look at me and tell that I'm financially stable and I got it going on. And Coach is like, we don't know you. Shit, we don't know what you got. Shit, we ain't even know who you are, right? Well, no, in all seriousness, Mika's like, no, that didn't have any bearing. Her and Koshia, they co-signed the fact that Patrice made a comment that ain't had no bearing with the women not being interested in him because the ladies felt like that he was thirsty. He was real catty and just slick out the mouth, like talk shit with the ladies, right? Because Tommy was like, why is it that you were hell bent on wanting to know who made the comments, right? Because remember, he was like, it's war. It's war because Alexis went back and shared what the lady said. She didn't say who said it, but by process of elimination, child, when they were at a happy hour at the poolside or whatever, child, he got to the bottom of it. But anyway, let me get to him and Mika. And so Mika says, shit, ain't nobody want him because he was just thirsty and he would make lustful comments, blah, 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 blah. But what get me, I didn't like the body shaming that he did with Mika and the ad hominem attacks, right? Well, they both kind of came for each other's looks, so let's be fair. But I think he kind of went low because he was like, shit, you're not my type anyway. Because he was about to say, you got two. And she said, no, go ahead and say it. He was like, because you got two kids with your tubes tied. Of course, production's getting everybody's reaction. They're like, ooh, that's nasty, which it was nasty. He acting like she got 10 kids by 10 different dudes. But either way, that was really nasty for him to say. And she said, you bad built. In other words, like calling him a little dude, bad built, short, or whatever like that. Well, he said, your body ain't real. You got a BBL. She said, shit, your chain ain't real.
You got a BBL. Your body not real.
All right.
That chain not real.
But it was starting to look catty, and he won't gonna win that. You going back and forth, and Tommy wasn't gonna let him do that.
Why you arguing with a female? Because he's a bitch.
Arguing, it's just not a good look. I don't like men who go back and forth with women, but still, women, you just can't be slick out the mouth with dudes and expect them just not to say ish. But a real dude ain't gonna just go back and forth. He's just gonna walk away, just F it, F you, and just keep it moving, right? But yeah, he's a little sassy, but he knew he was defeated. So, and he knew it wasn't a good look. So he just kind of retreated. But yeah, I didn't like the body shaming. I thought that was effed up. But anyway, but Miss Alexis, who in my opinion is very male identified, and she's not a girl's girl. And part of me wonders if she had issues growing up because you know how sometimes people can dislike you for how you look because maybe she's mixed, she's light skinned or whatever like that, and people come for you for different reasons, right? And who knows, maybe she could have got teased growing up, child, but whatever the case may be, girlfriend got her little chest poked out and she's going to let her voice be heard. But she did come to Will's defense and she said, I never said which woman said what. She still was kissing and telling, so to speak, telling what goes on in the ladies' lounge, right? All right, so moving right the hell along, but Mika's a trip. Child, she about it, about it. She was timing up for him. She was just like, your chain ain't real, knuckle. Okay, so anyway, after Alexis came to Will's defense, so Mika was like, for someone who ain't stay on the show but for so long, you sure got a whole lot to say. I'm just like, ooh, she coming for her. And then Alexis, not to be outdone, she was just like, y'all hoes are goofy, basically. She didn't call them no hoes. She was like, both of y'all are goofy. She said, between the two of y'all, y'all ain't got a half a brain. I'm like, ooh, yes, she did. Then she said it again. So she won't scared of the girls. They were just really going for each other to get a little gutter, being a little nasty, in my opinion. Ooh, child. And then Koshia was just like, she said, I'm so tired of this little girl. Because remember, during the season, the two of them had went at it because she was telling what was going on in the lounge. And she was just like, I'm going to smack the taste out her mouth, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, Alexis had told her, oh, we could go there. But child, she tells Mika and Koshia on the couch, right, during the reunion, she said, I don't respect neither one of y'all. Child, they're just doing the most. But a girlfriend had a bug up her ass and she was set to go. She came on 10 and she was ready to go rah rah. And she was just waiting on a chance to pounce. But anyway, it's a buildup. We get to the point to where she gonna kirk out, right? So anyway, Will ends up apologizing to Mika. She just like, yeah, whatever, whatever. That's what her facial expression said. And Tommy, again, had asked Patrice, do you feel like you owe Will an apology? And she was like, well, he should have been clear what he meant by staging. I'm thinking he's just going to sleep on the floor. Anyway, whatever. But anyway, he apologized. He's a bigger person. But Tommy did finally speak up. He said, we as Black people, y'all 30 plus years old, and he's just so sick of Black people tearing each other down, child. Because we all know if you watch social media, you got gender wars, men against women, 50-50, what you bring it to the table, or Black on Black, men, women, everybody just going at it. So that comment made an indelible impression. So everybody in the back, like, amen, Tommy, preach. Yeah, because, you get tired of tearing each other down.
Preach about it. Preach.
That's so true.
So, but one would think they would have taken heed, child. But anyway, let's continue. But I will say, I do like that they have the little confessional booth because I don't remember them necessarily having that in past reunions. Anyway, to close this little part out, Mika was like, Lil Willie done got on my nerves. What's that saying go? Wealth whispers, okay, and new money is loud, right? So she's like, you got your $100,000 and your $1.5 million homes. Okay, shit, if you got it like that, then be quiet. And in his confessional, he was like, you know what? I'm done with it. Everybody know I'm getting money over here. Blah, 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 blah. And he was like, I ain't got time to worry about broke girl behavior. Anyway, so to get to the next part, honey, they brought on Mr. Glenn. So remember the one cast member that was a no-show. Now, in my opinion, child, boyfriend is fine. I was just like, So Tommy brings him on. So they show flashbacks from the show. And everybody thought he was a curveball. Like, child, who is he? Is he really coming? Is he just making this up, trying to shake things up, blah, 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 blah. But boyfriend, obviously, according to him, he came onto the show, child. All the women eyes got wide, the dudes sizing him up like the competition. And he looked like he about 6'1", 6'2", got a little height on him, nice little build. I said, oh, he fine. It looked like he might have played a little ball. But anywho, so the women like, okay, this is what we missed out on. But he said that he had gotten into a car accident, and that's why he didn't go through with it. He said he dropped his little boy off to school and got in an accident. And then they show a flashback, I guess, to the bridge or, the lead up to the house for the first day. And I guess the producers or whoever on the outside, they asked, are you coming in? He was like, I don't know. And so he must have got cold feet. Boyfriend probably got a whole girlfriend, probably in a relationship or whatever. For whatever reason, he has second thoughts, right? So anyway, Mr. Glenn, he daps up everybody on the stage or whatever. He's just as cute as he can be, child. But yeah, the anxiety was kicking in even on the couch, he said. He said he didn't have any regrets about doing the process, but Tommy did give him the option to do like a speed dating type of deal. And so Justin quickly lets him know, honey, everybody good to go except one off limits, talking about Mika, child. But anyway, I'm laughing because when he gets backstage, they show him talking to Alexis, right? Because all the women were grinning when they learned that he's going to be mingling with them in the back, right? And so she was just like, so what really happened to you? In other words, why didn't you go through the process or show up? And he was like, motioning his hands, I got into a wreck. And he looked kind of irritated, like she was kind of getting on his nerves, kind of badgering him. And she had her glass in her hand. Remember, I said girlfriend was drinking. So it sounded like he said, look, I'll get you another one, some wine, whatever the hell she was drinking. Then he went over to talk to somebody else, kind of left her. I wonder if he ever bought her that damn drink back. Because girlfriend was building up. I don't know if she was at six, 7, 8, but she was going to get to 10, child. Because I don't know. I think she was on one. But let's continue. Oh yeah. So anyway, so Glenn he talks to April, had a little cute conversation. She gives him spirit fingers or whatever, child. And he talks to I think what's the sister name? Patricia. They showed them talking at one point. He was saying something about age. But anyway, we learned that he's 42. So honey, he's good and grown too, child. But anyway, so we move on to Leyland. And so Leyland, a lot of people on social media say that girlfriend saw the choice of men. It was just like, no, I ain't about this. I ain't doing this issue, y'all. She's like, no. But anyway, all of the men seemed to unanimously like her. So I think when they had the first men's meeting in the lounge and everybody said who their top choice was, and they did a little flashback. It was Leyland, Leyland, Leyland. Child, why Patrice on the couch looked like she rolling her eyes and looking uncomfortable because apparently Alonzo said Leyland too, child. But anyway, I have to give it to girlfriend. She's very classy, very beautiful, very elegant woman. And I don't know if her match was there unless she would have got with Mr. Glenn, child. But anywho, so anyway, remember, so she had to drop out of the process because she said she had issues or something going on in her family. And he asked her, how are things now? She said a lot better, but she does regret not going through the process, right? And the potential connections that she could have made. And so Chaz, he just grinning and blushing in the back, child. So he asked the men or the people in the room, do you think she could have made a connection? And everybody unanimously said, absolutely, right? So he asked her, is there anyone in the room that you're interested in now? She was like, well, and even before she could answer, child, Patrice was just like, well, shoot your shot, Alonzo. Shit. Whatever, since she was your top choice. Girlfriend is in her feelings. And she was like, honey, you could be added to his roster. I was like, oh, child. I was like, girl, just pipe down a little bit. It ain't work out. Let it go. But her being a class act, Miss Leyland, she's like, no, because everyone went through their journey. They went through the process. And she felt it wouldn't be fair to try to tack on to one of the men now or whatever. But I could see her possibly talking to, say, a Jonathan, right? Or even the Glenn guy that never made it. Shit, to me, because they're nice and tall, two valuable options, just something to think about. But honey, girlfriend would have given the ladies a run for their money. But it's a dating show. Everybody's fair game within reason. All right, so anyway, moving right the hell along. So we move on to the conversation between Alonzo and Koshia Chow. So remember, they had a phone conversation apparently as they were trying to get to know each other. He asked her the asinine question, do you prefer to be choked or spanked? And she refused to answer the question. And so the point of contention is he's trying to gaslight the hell out of her to tell her that it didn't have a sexual connotation. Child, everybody in Jesus knows it's a sexual connotation behind that phrase or that line of questioning, right? And so he's trying to tell her, well, you should have asked me because they met a date or whatever on the show. And so she's irritated with him. And he's like, well, you should have asked me what I meant by it. So one thing I learned about him when Kojo interviewed him, he will talk your ass down, talk around in circles, no accountability. Someone just try to tell you the sky ain't blue and you looking out the motherfucker and you see it's clear as blue as day, baby blue, dark blue, fucking still gray blue, but it's blue. Okay. But anywho, okay, so he's the type that likes to play games. He told Kojo that he tests women. And he was testing the women on the show because in that experimental short time frame that they had in that environment, he wanted to kind of see how they would react in certain situations. So he was trying to push their buttons. So anyway, you just don't ask silly ass questions. And everybody knows what the intent, the premise behind it was. He just wanted to get a reaction, right? And so anybody got time to play games with him because she had walked out. And so basically he doubled down. That's not what he meant. But child, anyway, I'm not going to waste no time on this scene. Moving right the hell along. But honey, but wait a minute. I love that because she had said in the confessional, she was like, honey, that line of questioning was inappropriate. And you and your little messy dreads, honey, I'm not attracted to you. So you don't get to ask me shit like that and expect an answer because I ain't feeling you like that. So anyway, they get to the next segment where Tommy is going to do a recap of all the little fun games that they played during the show. But before we get to that part, why did production on a loudspeaker say, everyone back to the couch or back to the main area, everybody except for Glenn? I'm like, damn, did you have to shade him? And then was that Dominique, the little short, stubby one, said something like, I don't want you to put nothing in my drink, a booger in my drink, ew, something nasty like that. And so anyway, poor Glenn, he was just like awkward because he's just sitting there by his lonesome child. So anywho, let's get to the damn good part. So Tommy, again, in this little segment, he said, I'm gonna throw a little curveball. Okay, so he introduced a little game of questions called Who Said That? And so it opened up with, at least from what I can remember, something that Chaz said, well, in my mind, I can envision this and I would love to get closer to her, blah, 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 talking about Rashina. But anyway, they showed a confessional where he said he would love to get close to a hotter side of her or some shit like that. Honey, that Bama was straight up on the prowl the whole time. But disguised himself as a nice guy. That's what got me the whole season. He gaslit everybody, but he fooled everybody into thinking that he was so nice and all of this. But you know, all the women went for him because they saw his house and they wanted to get up in there. And that's why Patrice wanted to get with his ass child. That's why she got on the bandwagon, because I guess she figured, she said, shit, he got a 3-car garage, she got like a nice house, blah, 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 making a cute little coin or whatever, more age appropriate, okay, as opposed to Lonzo. But then word on the curve is that production told Patrice to try to get with Chaz, because that would have been the first time that one of the contestants went to the very end with 2 choices, or all the way to the bridge. But anywho, back to the game, child. Let's get to the good part with that goddamn Alexis and that damn LeBron, okay? Oh, child. So anyway, why did the game go south quick, fast, and in a hurry? So Tommy says something to the effect of, when LeBron brings up snakes and things, someone said how ironic about the shady moves or whatever. And so LeBron said Alexis, right? But he didn't necessarily say it with malice. And then she kind of turned her head, you know, with an attitude, quickly said, oh, no, 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 Dom said it. And was going to kind of leave it at that, but girlfriend, but not let him off the hook because he got some shit with him too. But anyway, but when Tommy asked her, well, who do you think said it? She said, I think LeBron is the biggest damn snake on the whole damn cast. As a matter of fact, I think you're a damn dork. And he was like, he was like, you could tell he was pissed. He was like, oh, you want to go there? She was like, yeah, let's go there.
Okay.
You have been a snake this whole process, my.
She said, I never not said that you wasn't a snake, because you are a damn snake. Then he tried to clown her and said she had on cubic zirconium, not cubic zirconia. And so he go, Will, he was like, you a clown for that, bro. And he was like, oh, you want to go there? She said, yeah, let's go there, child. Here they go with the let's go there. And so they snapping back and forth. And then it just got real ugly. It just escalated quickly. And then people telling him to calm down. And then they telling her to damn calm down. And then, what's his name? Like, run it back. What's his name? Alonzo. Then he jumps up and then he tries to calm Alexis down. And she was like, no, get your hands off of me. And then Will jumps up, calm down, calm down. Production comes from the back and she's just getting piped up, right? And then Justin next to her was like, you know, just chill, you know, whatever. And then she was like, well, do you know who I am? He was like, well, I don't give a F who you are. In other words, well, why I gotta chill? I didn't do anything. He was like, look, just shut it up, trying to tell her to shut up. Then he made a little facial expression as if to say, see, I know how to shut up. You take heed and learn how to shut up. So I didn't like how everybody piled up on her. I didn't like that Justin piled up on her too with LeBron. So everybody's trying to shut her up. And then LeBron's like, well, get her out of here. And then Justin, you know, was like, yeah, get her out of here. Why can't you take both of them out of there? If you're going to take one out, shit, remove both, right? And so as they trying to contain her, she was like, no, I don't want to go anywhere. Y'all get y'all damn hands off of me. Mika popped her ass up from the back. She jumped up. And I don't know if that's because Alexis and Justin were kind of getting into it. And she said, she said, I will whoop your ass. She said, bitch, I will beat you the fuck up or something. She was like, I will F you up, honey. But let me tell you, so remember I said she had been having drinks in her hand. Remember I said I thought she might have been a little lit because she'd been kind of amped up the whole time. But everybody, when they're in the reunion, sometimes they try to, you know, show themselves or whatever. But she had a few axes to grind. Child, honey, at this point, they pulling her out. They pulling Mika back and she's just giving wolf tickets, blah, 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 blah. So Will drags her out in production. They take her to the back. She was like, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. I done spent my damn money coming out of here, child. She was like, I will not give you a damn confessional. So they follow her out and she's like, Will, get off me. Let me go. I'm ready to go. So she's trying to wisp off in the damn night. And hopefully she didn't have one too many. Obviously she made it home because if something bad would have happened, we would have heard about it, or she made it to her hotel. And she said, you will not get a confessional out of me. She said, you will get the worst of me, child. Honey, girlfriend flicked the damn bird at the damn cameraman. I was like, child, ooh, I can't take this. But anyway, that was part one of the reunion. But even before that, child, but that was just a whole lot. Girlfriend was on 10. So again, she had an axe to grind. She had a hair up her ass. She had LaRon in her crosshairs and some of the chicks too. She said, honey, I'm ready for all y'all with my male identified ass. Yes, she is, honey. She was all for the minute first, but now, child, she's taking shots at everybody. But let me get back to Miss April. So even before they got to LaRon, and then I'm going to close this thing up. It's funny and not so funny. They brought up the question, who was a cast member that said that Will was tall and goofy like a giraffe with a mixture of Forrest Gump or something like that? And it turned out to be April. And LaRon thought Koshia said it. Some people thought Mika said it. I ain't say that shit. That was kind of mean to say. She said, well, is he not tall? That's subjective or whatever. She said, I wouldn't say that about him now. So she was just trying to say that he was kind of goofy. But he took it in stride. He let the shit roll off. He didn't trip off of it. And Tommy was like, okay, that's what's up. He says just jokes. He's a dude. He wasn't trying to go back and forth with a woman. Even if he might have been a little embarrassed, he just let it roll right off, child. LaRon, take notes, honey. Take notes. You don't have to go toe to toe with a woman unless she keeps coming for you. Then that's different. But honey, I can't wait to see next week when they get into Chaz and Vanessa, child, because he called girlfriend a whole narcissist. I'm like, ain't that the pot calling the damn kettle black? But child, anywho, y'all tell me what y'all think. Y'all drop that in the comments. This reunion was a whole lot, but honey, the reunion was good. And the shenanigans that go on social media, I'm going to do a whole nother damn review on that, child. I ain't even want to touch on that, but they be doing a whole lot apart from the show. The off-camera shit is better than the on-camera. But anyway, this is Sensibility Speaks. Thanks for stopping by, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Bye-bye.